Hi, I'm Lois McNaughton, and as the developmental coach in the Coherence Lab, I'm here to offer some different ways that you could create coherence or more alignment with yourself and make your life smoother and more enjoyable. Um, I was thinking that the things that have come up in my practice that have helped people find that coherence or alignment would be of interest to a lot of different people because it's helped so many others. And one of the things that I wanted to offer today is the sort of the nuanced difference between what it means to caretake versus caregive. Because so many of us are caregivers in the world today, whether you're a professional caregiver with a practice or you're a family member, a member of a community, even at work. You can find ourselves needing to offer care or support to the people that are around us. And when we do it really well, it supports the other person and it doesn't wear us out because we can get really worn down needing to help people all the time. So, having ways that we can look at this differently and give that help and feel good about it. And I hope that's what this will offer to you. So when I talk about caregiving versus caretaking, there are times in our lives where we require to be caretaken, and those are times that we can't do things for ourselves. This is, I mean, obviously clear if it's an infant, they can't really do anything for themselves. We have to do it for them. If someone has had surgery or an accident, and or even say things like aging with dementia and that sort of thing, they're in a position where they cannot take care of themselves and they need someone to do that for them. And so there's this need for them to be completely dependent on other people. And that in those circumstances, it's highly appropriate that we're doing that. But there are times when we're looking after people that have the capacity, let's say as a child's growing or as a person's getting over the surgery or the accident, and they can start to move into their life and take back their self discipline, their self care. We can support them in that rather than doing it for them. Because really, if we continue doing something for people that could or should be doing it for themselves, we're actually taking away their ability to learn and grow and gain capacity for themselves. And in a way, we promote the development of learned helplessness. So having people that don't know how to do things or won't do things for themselves because somebody else is doing it for them. And there are times that it's hard to step out of the way and watch somebody deal with something that's hard for them or difficult for them, but to step back and to be able to realize that they're actually learning something when they do that. It could be a child on the playground learning how to interact with their friends, and as a mother, not stepping in and fixing it for them. So so it's fixed, but they haven't really learned anything. So if we can give them the skills rather than doing it for themselves, we're caregiving rather than caretaking. So uh, we started working with this in the Coherence Lab with practitioners who were wearing out, moving towards total burnout in their practices because they were taking on so much of the responsibility of the care for their patients or clients that they felt like it was all on them and they needed to heal this person, make them well. But they weren't taking into consideration that that other person had the ability, had the capacity to participate in that and to be a partner, to to learn how to do these things for themselves and not become dependent on their practitioner. And the same goes for a mother or a coworker. So, in working with these people, we help them understand that they could look after the people, give them the care that they needed, but they didn't have to feel completely drained by it at the end of the day. And so, what I'm offering to you as you're listening here is that there is a way to approach helping other people, supporting other people without creating a dependence, which in turn can create a sense of resentment over time. Like if we're constantly looking after somebody and they're constantly coming to us and expecting us to do it for them, we get worn down, we get resentful, we get angry, and it undermines the relationship. So if they're coming to us and we're helping them learn how to do it for themselves, we don't build up that resentment. And that resentment happens too with the person that's being helped over time quite often, is they feel like they're not trusted or they can't do it for themselves, or it's not good enough. So just to think about, are there times or circumstances in our lives where the caretaker in us shows up instead of the caregiver? You know, the helicopter parent or the, I was just thinking for myself, so I had trouble with in the kitchen. And it was just like easier to do it myself. And then stepping back and realizing that if I wanted my children or my daughter-in-law to learn how to do these things and actually be a partner in this and be able to do it for themselves, that I needed to step back, take the time and support them in learning how to do it, which took a lot of effort in the beginning, but it certainly has paid off over time. Now it's a true joy, to work in the kitchen with any of them. I mean, that's a very small um, uh, example of caregiving, because there's things that we feel are far more uh, dangerous, things that our children might do or patients might do that we're going like, I really wouldn't do that. But sometimes it's something that they need to learn for themselves. It's part of their journey, and they need to find out that maybe that isn't the right thing for them to do. And sometimes we need to find out that maybe it is the right thing for them to do, and we need to step out of the way. So, and that's this suggestion that working at being a caregiver uh, will be much easier on us and will serve our relationships with other people in a much stronger way is really the message that I'm trying to get across here. So I think one of the things that we can all do, and I do this quite often, is just to watch myself and say, am I caretaking, or am I tending to do, or to take over here, to not let them learn, or am I caregiving? And if I'm caretaking, is like, how can I step back and get out of the way? How can I turn this around and make this a supportive experience for this other person and have them learn, grow, become resilient, and be independent people? And then I have to look at what's it about for me that I'm feeling the need to step in and take over. And uh, and so that's my work to do. There's two things here, I guess. It's the stepping out of the way and letting them learn and grow, but it's also stepping back and saying, okay, so what's going on with me? That do I need to feel needed here? Do I need to feel like I'm in control? It could be so many different things, and just to find other ways to find out how to fill that need for ourselves. And usually that's having someone to talk to. And it's like a good friend or a family member or a spiritual advisor, coaches. There's people that we can talk to and share what's going on for us and find out what it is that we need to nurture ourselves so that we can step out of the way and let other people become independent beings. And it's an interesting aspect of developing our relationships with other people and with ourselves. And there's a lot to be gained by looking at this in our lives and in the way that we can find that alignment of, what's really natural for me. Am I doing what's really natural, or am I doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing? So it's something that I would encourage any of you to just to pay attention to and see what happens in your life. And if you find yourself stepping in more often than it looks like you maybe ought to be, it's just take the chance and step back and try it a different way and see what happens and see how the people around you grow and how your relationships with them grow as well. So I will wish you luck with that and see you another time.